Hey guys, happy New Year's Eve! It is the end of 2019, and honestly, I know everyone is saying this, but I cannot believe it. This year went by so super fast, and it's been an incredible year. It hasn't been perfect, it hasn't been free of pain, but it's been incredible. And most incredible is the fact that we made it through. We're about to enter into a whole new year, a whole new decade with tons of new opportunities and possibilities. And if there's anyone who can attest to the fact that time can change your life, it's me. I don't know how many of you know my story. I don't know how many of you know just how incredible my life's transformation has been. But I started this decade in 2010 on bail, facing a 5-year sentence for a conspiracy charge. I was unemployed, I was unemployable, and my life was literally falling apart all around me. I attempted suicide in 2010. That's how I started my decade. But I'm ending my decade. Oh, baby. I am ending my decade happy, fulfilled, free of all the toxicity that I carried into it. And I want to encourage you by sharing 5 lessons. Sorry, that was 10, but 5 lessons that I learned over the last 10 years that has helped me to change my life and that continues to empower me to make the changes that I need to make going forward. So let's get into it. Lesson number 1. Most important, probably. I don't know, because they're all equally important. But lesson number 1, keep going. When I wanted to give up in 2010, when I took over 200 pills in order to end my life, I didn't want to keep going. I thought that it would have been easier to just exit stage left than keep going. I couldn't see how my life would get any better. But I'm here to tell you that if you keep going, it gets better. The only way that it doesn't get better is if you stay stuck. If you decide to stop, if you stop in the midst of the drama, in the midst of the instability, in the midst of the confusion, it doesn't get any better. But I promise you, if you keep going, things will change. So, lesson number 1, keep going. Lesson number 2 for the decade, improvise. Improvise. So let me tell you, my life was on this trajectory to be great. I was going to be a school teacher. I was doing my master's in modern history. Like, I had a plan, and then bang, criminal conviction came along and really messed with that plan. I had to improvise. I had to improvise if I wanted to have success. Okay, so things didn't go the way they were supposed to go for whatever reason. For me, it was my own doing. For you, it may be circumstances beyond your control. But whatever it is that happens that kind of knocks you off your plan, improvise. Think quick. Get on your feet. Do something. Improvise. Just because there's a detour, just because something doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, doesn't mean that you cannot still have success and be happy and live a fulfilling life. You have to know how to improvise. Lesson number 3, don't take it personal. So this is a lesson that I learned when I read the book, The 4 Agreements, written by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is one of my absolute favorite books. It's a life-changing book. I'm going to post it later, but I read this book every single year in January because the gems, right? So one of the 4 agreements is don't take it personal. So there are going to be things that happen to you in life. There are going to be things that people do to you in life, things that people say about you. Don't take it personal. Because while you're over there taking it personal and allowing it to affect your life, they are moving on. Don't take it personal. Whatever someone does, whatever someone says is more a reflection of their character than your character. Don't take anything personal. The only thing you need to take personal is how you treat yourself and how you live your life. Other than that, fuck it. Don't take anything personal. That was number 3. Number 4. This is a big one. This is such a big one for me personally, right? Number 4, you are allowed to change your mind. Let me tell you, right? This is so big for me because the whole reason I started 2010 in a really crappy place was because I felt like I couldn't change my mind about a situation that I was in. I felt like I had to ride it out to the bitter ends. I had to be that ride or die chick. No. You can change your mind. That's part of the whole improvise thing that I talked about in number 2. You can change your mind. If something is not serving you, if something is not making you happy, if something is not bringing the desired result and you have given your best, you can change your mind. There is no decision that you make. There is no decision that you make that you cannot go back and change your mind about if it no longer serves you. So that can be a job, that can be a relationship, that can be just about anything. If it ain't working, you can change your mind, and you have to give yourself permission to change your mind. Finally, and this should not come as a surprise, my 5th lesson from this decade is to live authentically and unapologetically. Let me tell y'all, right? I spent the first half of my life, actually, I spent more than the first half of my life trying to be something I was not. Depending on which friend I was with or what boyfriend I had, I would just chop and change. I like to say that I was a chameleon. I would just blend in to whatever surroundings I was in. And that did not serve me because for years, I denied who I actually am and what I actually love because I was trying to fit in somewhere. That shit is for the birds. And what you ain't finna do in 2020 is be fake. Like, that shit's overrated. Be yourself. Live authentically and unapologetically. And the only way for you to actually do that, is to do the self-reflection required to know who you are, to know what you love, to know what you want to do with your life, to know what kind of people you want to be around, what kind of relationship you want to have. Like, all of that stuff requires a lot of in-depth self-reflection. And so the only way to live your life authentically and be yourself unapologetically is to spend that time getting to know yourself, falling in love with yourself. And so that is my challenge to everybody here for 2020. If you are not already doing that, that's where you need to be. The world don't need no copycat of anything else. The world don't need you to be uncomfortable existing because you're not allowing yourself to be free. The world needs you. So, as we go into 2020, I hope you can take these lessons that I've learned, this is a condensed version because one day I'm gonna write my book and it's gonna be a tell-all and yours gonna be like all up in that. But this is a condensed version of just the lessons that I've learned having gone through some incredible shit in the last 10 years. So I'm gonna recap real quick. Lessons from the decade: keep going. Keep going. I don't care what it is you're going through. Keep going. Lesson number 2, improvise. You gotta think quick on your feet. Improvise. Lesson number 3, don't take it personal. It ain't about you. Don't take it personal. Lesson number 4, you are allowed to change your mind. Whew, that lesson changed my life. And lesson number 5, live authentically. You are enough just as you are. So there you go. Those are my lessons from the decade. I can't even believe 10 years has passed. I can't even believe how much my life has changed in the last 10 years. And I am so grateful to you guys who be rocking with me, who watch my stories, who engage with me, who attend my events, who trust me with your healing, and who trust me with your secrets, and who trust me with your story. I am beyond humbled to know that God allowed me to go through so much so that I can give away so much wisdom. So there we go. Happy 2020. I honestly hope that this is the year that changes your